It might sound counterintuitive, but you should stop saving so much money. In this video, I will show you how excessive saving is actually hurting your financial goals. Before we get too far, I do want to say, of course, saving is important. It's your safety net for financial emergencies and a way to achieve your future goals. Committing to saving a certain percentage of your income and even automating your savings is a great financial habit. But just like our parents used to tell us as kids, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. There are a couple of signs which can indicate that you are probably saving much more than you need to. First, if you feel like you are constantly depriving yourself of small, fun things here and there because you are saving, you might be going too far. This is not to say that saving comes without sacrifice, because of course that's just not true. But there is a threshold, there is a point where you cross over and you know that you are going overboard. The second sign is stagnation. Your net worth is the total value of all assets you own, so your cash, investments, property, minus your total liabilities, which includes all debts and loans that you have. Your net worth tells you how financially healthy you are at a particular point in time. Ideally, your net worth should be growing year over year. But if your net worth is stagnant despite you having significant savings, that could be an indicator that your money isn't working hard enough for you. The third sign is if thinking about money makes you anxious even though you have a substantial amount saved. This could indicate that you need to reassess your financial strategy because you likely have financial anxiety. Digging a little deeper into that topic of financial anxiety, it's important to understand the psychological impacts of oversaving. Money mindset isn't talked about enough, but it is really important because it impacts so much of our thoughts and feelings surrounding money. And your money mindset is often something that is built during childhood, even at times when you're unaware, just based on how you grew up, whether you grew up in a poor home and you were lacking, or you grew up wealthy. All of that shapes your money mindset. Constantly worrying about money can lead you into a scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset is the belief that resources, opportunities, or wealth are limited, which can lead to a fear of lacking or missing out. This mindset can cause you to be overly cautious about spending money. It can make you miss out on good things for yourself, like experiences with your friends or your family, or investing in your own growth. It takes time, but it is possible to strike the right balance between saving for the future and enjoying the present. Moving from a scarcity mindset to a balanced financial strategy involves weighing opportunity costs. Opportunity cost refers to the benefits that are lost when you choose one option over another. And we weigh opportunity costs all the time in our daily lives. For example, imagine it's Friday night and you have the choice of going out to a restaurant and eating dinner with your friends, or having a quiet night in and binge watching your favorite Netflix show. If you choose to go out, you get to enjoy time with your friends, making memories. But what is the opportunity cost? The money that you spent on dinner and drinks could have been invested in growing for your future. On the flip side, if you choose to stay in, you get to save money, but the opportunity cost is that you miss out on building stronger connections with your friends and just nurturing that relationship. In the context of saving too much, opportunity cost means that while stashing your money away in a savings account can feel like it's providing you added security, it comes at the expense of potentially higher returns if you invested that same amount of money in stocks or real estate. Understanding opportunity costs will help you to weigh the benefits of different financial decisions so that you can make more informed decisions that are in line with your long-term strategy. As we consider the impact of opportunity costs on decisions, it's also essential to understand how inflation plays a pivotal role. Inflation introduces another layer of consideration, which is how the rising cost of goods and services diminishes the purchasing power of money over time. For example, if inflation is at 3% annually and you are keeping your money in a traditional savings account earning you 1% interest, then the purchasing power of your money is decreasing by 2% each year in terms of what it can actually buy you. So while your savings may appear to be growing in absolute terms, overall your purchasing power is declining. This is particularly relevant when it comes to long-term financial goals and planning, like retirement savings. If your savings do not keep pace with inflation or outpace inflation, you may find yourself unable to afford the same standard of living in the future. For example, we know that $100,000 per year in 1950 could have provided you a far different lifestyle than $100,000 in 2024. This is why your financial strategy shouldn't be primarily focused on saving. Investing in assets that historically outpace inflation, like stocks, real estate, and inflation-protected securities, can potentially help to grow your money much faster overall. So let's get into some practical tips for how you can make sure you have a balanced financial strategy. And I will say that tip number 3 has been the game changer for me, and unfortunately it isn't something that is very commonly done. But let's start at tip number 1, which is establishing your short-term savings. This is your safety net, also called your emergency fund. And you do not need an excessively large stockpile of cash for your emergency fund. You really just need about 3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses saved up. And never keep your emergency fund in a traditional savings account because of inflation, like we just talked about. I did a video talking about the 4 best places to consider keeping your emergency fund, and I will leave that linked in the description box below. Step number 2 is to prepare for your future. So now that you have your emergency fund set, you can go ahead and begin to invest your extra money instead of just letting that money sit around in your bank account, losing value over time. Investing is such a powerful tool for building wealth due to compound interest. Compound interest refers to earning interest on your interest. So you earn interest not only on the money that you have initially put in, but also on the growth, on the earnings of that money. For example, if you commit to investing $200 a month for a 30-year period with an annual average rate of return of 10%, your investments could grow to over $450,000 with the help of compounding interest. A big source of confusion for many people when it comes to investing is just not knowing where to start. One of my personal favorite ways to invest is through index funds. Index funds are very beginner friendly, they have low fees, and they provide you with a broad exposure to the stock market without you having to go and individually pick stocks that you want to invest in. I wrote a guidebook on Fidelity index funds with options for US securities, international securities, and bonds, and it has a section on how to build your own investment portfolio. It is completely free, and I will leave it linked in the description box below. Tip number 3 is to regularly review. Anything that is not growing is either unhealthy or dead. It is our natural tendency as humans to grow, our interests change, we get older. The same thing should be happening for your financial strategy. You should not have a stagnant financial strategy. A healthy financial strategy is one that is regularly reviewed and adjusted. Your life circumstances will change, so you need to make sure that your strategy with your money reflects and aligns with that. And how can you do that? By doing money dates. A money date is essentially just a time that you set aside to review your investments, how they are performing, track your progress towards your goals, and then reassess if you need to. I would highly recommend doing this at least semi-annually. Quarterly would be great as well. This is a highly proactive approach to make sure that you are maximizing your opportunities and mitigating your risk. Most people do not do money dates, but I promise you, if this is something that you can commit to, you will be far ahead of most people in terms of your comfort with your money and your financial strategy and assurance that you are heading in the right direction. If you would like some personalized suggestions on financial planning or tips on investing and budgeting, I am starting to open up a couple one-on-one sessions where we can talk about anything related to personal finance. Check the link in the description box below to sign up for a time slot, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the next video.